Hello everyone, we have Crassio on the test server. So Crassio is a Mauler hero, also an agility based hero as well, with the class being Ranger and the primary role being continuous damage here. So let's start by looking at the ultimate skill, Oathsworn Guardian. This has a passive here. At the start of battle, Crassio will begin protecting the hero positioned below him. And the active part of this, if the protected hero is alive and there are enemies around them, Crassio damages all enemies near him for 320% of his attack rating, then teleports to the protected hero and damages all enemies near them for 320% of his attack rating. Otherwise, Crassio will only slash at the enemies near himself twice, damaging them for 320% of his attack rating per slash. Level 2 increases the healing and shields received by Crassio's protected hero by 50%. And level 3, if the skill Flying Dagger is unlocked, using the ultimate against the main target will reduce their attack rating and defense rating by 35% and 25% respectively for 6 seconds. So he will have a protected hero that he will protect here, and he will damage the enemies not only around him, but he will also damage the enemies around the protected hero as well. So doing a lot of damage there. And also slashing the enemies near himself twice here if this doesn't occur. So doing even more damage with this part of the skill as well. Okay, the second skill is Dagger Dash. When using the skill Flying Dagger, Crassio locks in on the enemy hero that has dealt the highest damage to his target for protection, treating the hero as the main target for attack. The skill prioritizes the main target's location. If the target is near Crassio, he will slash enemies around him twice, dealing damage for 250% of his attack rating. If the target is far away, Crassio will throw a dagger at them, dealing damage for 250% of his attack rating to enemies around the target, then teleports and catches the dagger, inflicting damage equal to 250% of his attack rating on surrounding enemies. Level 2 increases the damage to 280% of his attack rating. Level 3, when this skill deals damage to Crassio's quarry, it deals extra damage equal to 10% of the quarry's max health, up to 600% of Crassio's attack rating. And level 4, when this skill deals damage to Crassio's quarry, it destroys the quarry's shield if the shield's remaining shield value is below 1000% of Crassio's attack rating. So Crassio will attack the enemy hero that has dealt the highest damage, making that his main target for attack. And if the enemy is near him, he will slash the enemies around him twice, dealing damage. And if the target is far away, he'll throw a dagger at them, dealing the same damage there. He then teleports and catches the dagger and does even more damage to surrounding enemies during that. So a lot of damage with this skill as well. And looking at the third skill here, Lethal Deflection. This has a passive ability. When Crassio or his target for protection receives a single round of damage exceeding 20% of his max health, the damage taken is reduced by 50% while the attacker and their surrounding enemies receive damage equal to 200% of Crassio's attack rating. This effect can trigger up to 3 times, and the active part of this ability, Crassio inflicts damage for 200% of his attack rating on enemies in front. If there are passive triggers remaining, the enemies will be dealt damage for 200% of Crassio's attack rating, equivalent to the remaining passive triggers. After Lethal Deflection is cast, the number of passive triggers is refreshed. Level 2 increases damage to 230% of Crassio's attack rating. Level 3, the triggering damage is now reduced by 60%. And level 4, this is the first engraving skill. The skill's passive effect can now trigger 7 times. So when Crassio or his protection target receive a lot of damage, the damage they will take will be reduced by 50% here, up to 60% with the level 3. And also the enemies will receive damage, and enemies will also receive damage from the active ability here. Yeah, once again, doing quite a bit of damage. Also, the plus 30 signature, or the plus 30 engraving here sounds very nice. Increasing the passive effect can now trigger 7 times here. That sounds like a lot. And let's move on to the final skill, Repelling Smash here. This is a passive ability. When the target for protection is attacked at close quarters, Crassio teleports back to the target's side, dealing damage for 240% of his attack rating to surrounding enemies, and knocking them back, while granting the target a shield worth 280% of his attack rating that lasts for 6 seconds. This effect can trigger up to 1 time every 12 seconds. After the skill is used, the cooldown of Flying Dagger is refreshed immediately. Level 2 enemies hit by the skill deal 30% less damage for 5 seconds. Level 3, if an attacker breaks the shield granted by the skill, they will be stunned for 2 seconds. And this is the plus 60 engraving skill. At the start of battle, Crassio uses this skill on the area around the enemy hero with the highest attack rating. He then grants himself a shield equal in value to the shield he would grant his protected hero. This effect will not trigger this skill's cooldown. So he will teleport back to the target for protection and deal damage to the surrounding enemies here, knocking them back, granting his target a shield as well, so giving him a shield. And after the skill is used, the cooldown of Flying Dagger is refreshed immediately, so being able to use Flying Dagger after this skill, that sounds very powerful. Also, the enemies hit by this skill deal 30% less damage, so doing even less damage there. And also they're stunned if the attacker breaks the shield, stunned for 2 seconds. And the plus 60 engraving here, using this skill on the area around the enemy here with the highest attack rating at the start of battle. So being able to do this skill at the start of battle on the hero with the highest attack rating, that sounds very powerful. Okay, I'm going to look at the signature item here. Signature item skill, Mark of Vengeance. When you unlock the signature item, every 10 times Crassio deals damage to his quarry, he gains 5 points of crit rating and 5 points of tenacity until the end of battle. This effect can stack up to 3 times, so getting some crit rating and tenacity there. At plus 10, every 10 times Crassio deals damage to his quarry, he gains 10 points of crit rating and 10 points of tenacity until the end of battle. So just increasing the stats there. At plus 20, if Crassio kills his quarry, the cooldown of Dagger Dash will be reset and he will gain 20 points of crit damage amplification until the end of battle. This effect can stack up to 2 times, so also getting crit damage amplification if he kills his quarry. And also the cooldown of Dagger Dash will be reset, and plus 30, whenever Crassio deals damage to his quarry with his skills or normal attacks, he deals additional damage to them for 160% of his attack rating. The damage from this effect cannot trigger this effect. This effect can trigger up to 20 times per battle. So doing additional damage, 160% of his attack rating, so that sounds pretty nice. Can trigger up to 20 times per battle. That seems like quite a few times there per battle. And looking at the exclusive furniture here, called Comrade in Arms, with the 3/3, as long as his protected hero is still alive, Crassio gains 50% attack rating. Every time the total damage taken by the protected hero reaches 10% of their max health, Crassio's attack rating bonus is reduced by 5%. If the protected hero dies, Crassio will lose his attack rating bonus. So keeping the protected hero alive and also keeping them at pretty much max health will keep Crassio here at the 50% attack rating bonus here. And every time the protected hero loses more and more damage, he'll just keep on losing that attack rating bonus. And the 9 of 9, the first time Crassio's protected hero takes fatal damage, he will become invulnerable for 3 seconds and consume 50% of his own health to heal them. He will heal them for 40% of their max health plus the health he consumed. If the protected hero dies within the next 3 seconds, Crassio will recover the health he consumed. He will also gain a 50% bonus to attack rating and 20 points of life leech for 6 seconds. So it looks like Crassio will be invulnerable for 3 seconds if his protected hero it takes fatal damage. He'll also consume health. He'll heal the protected hero, looks like, as well. Heal them for 40% of their max health, plus the health that he consumed. So very nice, giving the protected hero, I guess, a sort of cheat death there, so they can continue fighting. Yeah, that 9 of 9 furniture sounds very powerful. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the Arena of Trials here. I just want to go ahead and test Crassio out a little bit. Okay, let's start with the wooden dummy here. I just want to go ahead and look at the skills. And let's go ahead and turn on auto. I'm just going to leave it off ×2 speed here. Already killing an enemy in the background, in the backline there. There we go. There's the ultimate skill. Just slashing at the enemies here. I believe that was the flying dagger. I think I just saw the flying dagger there. Went over to and threw the dagger and then teleported and caught the dagger there. There we go. Once again, that seems like a very fast way to move around the battlefield, so that could be pretty useful for moving around the battlefield, especially since he's an agility class, a ranger. Definitely expecting him to move around the battlefield quite a bit. Kind of worried though that would also make him die immediately. I'm not quite sure if that will be the case, but that seems to happen quite a bit with the ranger class with some of those heroes. Overall, the skills are looking pretty nice, killing off these heroes pretty fast, pretty quickly. Let's go ahead and move on to the Arena Guardian here. Okay, I want to see how well Crassio does in the front line. I'm going to put him in the front line with Kanisa and Rook here. And I'm going to see who Rosaline follows, and then I want some support here with Palmer, and then I just put Audrey in there because she's an awesome hero. I really like Audrey. Took down that team pretty easily. Rosaline died at the very end, but Crassio doing a lot of damage. 6.48 million damage there. That's a lot. Yeah, no one else even came close to that. That's impressive. Very impressive damage there. And plus, him being able to move around, he was not able to take a lot of damage there, being able to move around quickly. It's not giving any of the enemies time to really hit him too much. Yeah, overall, doing quite a bit of damage there. That was very impressive. I really liked that damage there. Yeah, he's continuous damage, so I was hoping to see a lot of damage from him, which was very nice to see. Overall, looking like a pretty powerful hero. Keeping him alive would be beneficial to help him to take that damage, help him to get that damage out there. Also keeping him alive to protect his hero that he wants to protect as well. Hey, if you like my content, make sure to subscribe, and if you want to watch my newest video, check out the video that's on screen now, and thanks for watching.